You know what they say, big feet, big footprints. And these days, footprints are big news. Carbon footprints, that is. So how big's your carbon footprint?
So, what exactly is a carbon footprint, and why does size matter so much? Paul Gilding is the guy with all the answers.
A carbon footprint is how much CO2 pollution you cause through your direct personal activities, whether it's using electricity, whether it's driving your car.
So how do I actually reduce my carbon footprint?
Well, first of all, you have to know what it is before you can reduce it. So you need to actually measure it. You need to know how much power you're using, how much gas you're using, how much you're using your car, and find out where you sit relative to the rest of Australia.
How much damage do you believe your life has done to the environment?
Almost as much damage as it's done to myself.
Can you name a greenhouse gas?
CO2.
So, how big's your carbon footprint? Jump on the special calculator on Action Earth's website to find out.
First thing we do...
So what kind of house do you live in?
I have energy efficient light bulbs in most of my lights.
All right.
Now, this section is about household waste. So I recycle, as much as I can. And I also compost.
Recycling, worm farms, composting, this is all making a big difference.
Vehicle.
The car. The car. Now it gets tough.
Okay, I do have a big car, and I use diesel.
Average car does about 15,000 kilometres a year, so that's not too bad at all, actually.
Yeah, I'm a little bit over.
Yeah, but that's okay.
This is my flights, basically. It's a scary number.
Yep. So short-haul flights, Sydney, Melbourne, medium-haul flights like Sydney to Tokyo, and then long-haul is kind of Sydney to London. Okay, let's put those numbers in. Okay, so, on balance, at the home, doing pretty well. Air travel, we're going to have to work on that one.
Particularly since the aim is to be carbon neutral, to have no carbon footprint damaging the world's climate.
Can you name a greenhouse gas?
Oh, I did this in school.
Yes, CO2, carbon monoxide. Carbon fluorocarbon, I think it's called.
Can you give me one more clue?
We'll be giving you loads of tips over the coming weeks to reduce the greenhouse gases you and your life pump into the atmosphere. But if there are some things, like business flights, you can't avoid, try carbon offsetting.
So carbon offsetting is when you can't reduce your own pollution somewhere, you actually offset it elsewhere. So basically, if you're producing CO2 pollution from a flight, you simply pay a company like EasyB and Green to go and cut the same amount of pollution somewhere else in the system.
They cut pollution by investing in stuff like light bulb replacement schemes, renewable energy sources, or even tree planting programs. You'll find heaps of carbon offsetting companies on the Action Earth website. You confess your sins and then pay a fee to reimburse the environment.
Click that box. Oh, $70. You can offset your entire life, or one environmental sin at a time.
Of course, offsetting isn't as good as not emitting CO2 in the first place, but more of making those changes next time on Action Earth.